Hello and welcome to The Pulse. This broadcast is live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV, channel 125, and on all our social media handles. We're JoyNews on TV. Coming up on The Pulse, commuters brace for fresh fare pressure as transport operators push for increases, with intercity operator VIP said to implement up to 25% hike from April 8th.
Coming in a way, because from Accra to Kumasi, 120 cedis, and they want to increase it.
I think it should be reduced a little, or it should be like this than them increasing it.
We'll hear from the GPRTU and the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, which are scheduled to meet with the Transport Ministry in the coming hours. You're still watching The Pulse here on JoyNews. Also coming up this afternoon, Minority in Parliament flags an alleged secret push to embed LGBTQ provisions in the constitutional review proposals.
Use the curriculum to protect our children from LGBTQ influence. Instead, this government used the curriculum to covertly lay the groundwork to indoctrinate them and to set his agenda.
We have details plus get a response from government. Also, this afternoon, an easy calm returns to Agyeman-Rawlings onion market following violent clashes between Ghanaian and foreign traders over alleged attempts to dominate the country's onion trade. And a bit later, we will tell you how crowds are flocking to the Jakiti beach along the Volta Lake. Details as the residents express excitement over the ongoing road project, which they believe will unlock the area's tourism and investment potential. The Pulse is brought to you by Defendril Cough Expectorant. Defendril, breathe easy, feel better. My name is Kenneth Gyasi. Please stay for details.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number one, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Strong, grow healthy with Kidivite, distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Are you ready for the Hits FM Rub Your Jersey 2026? This year we go big, we go mega with an exciting experience. Swag up your jerseys, represent your football club with your jersey and meet us at the University of Ghana Stadium Car Park from noon till late. Mark the date, Saturday, 30th May 2026, and get ready for lots of fun, entertainment, and amazing prizes to be won. We start at noon till the climax of the UEFA Champions League finale match in Grand Style. Rub Your Jersey 2026 will have activities like sports quiz, soccer tournament, the Champions League anthem competition, and many more. Mark the date, Saturday, 30th May 2026 at the University of Ghana Stadium Car Park, noon till late. Come rep your jersey. Hashtag rep your jersey. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey is powered by Joy Sports and Joy Prime and sponsored by Soccer Bet, your best bet for sports betting. DD Shito, Efiedieni, National Petroleum Authority. It's the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026.
Welcome to the program. Commuters are facing renewed uncertainty as transport operators push for an increase in fares. Intercity service operator VIP is already implementing up to 25% fare hike effective tomorrow, April 8th. The GPRT is also expected to hold talks with the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council and the Transport Ministry in the coming hours as it pushes for an upward adjustment in fares. My colleague Stephen Mensah has just returned from the VIP terminal and is joining me in the studio with more. Stephen, what are the new fares?
Well, Kenneth, for these routes from Accra to Kumasi, from Accra to Tamale, they are new introductions. And VIP says for general routes, it's a 20% increase. But then for the Accra to Kumasi routes, it's a 25% increase. For the previous fare will be from Accra to Kumasi will be 120. Currently, it's 150. From Accra to Sunyani will be 170, that was before. Currently, it's 200 cedis. And from Accra to somewhere like Sampa, before it was 190, currently it's 230. And VIP says that it's a 20% increase for all other routes, but then for Accra to Kumasi, it's a 25% increase.
And what justification do they give?
Well, they say that they point to the fact of spare parts increase, the cost in spare parts, also fuel increase, and the travel time. The managing director for VIP says that before, the route from Accra to Kumasi will generally take you about some 6 hours, but then he's pointing to some 10 hours journey from Accra to Kumasi, and he says these are some factors accounting for an increase in the cost or transport fares. We can listen to him.
And that we are not part of any union. The meeting we are led to believe between the Transport Ministry is with the JRTCC and the GPRTU. This is a purely private company, and then we make an assessment, and where we believe we need to plug some holes, we have to plug some holes. There are two key things that are running around. First, the buses spend a lot of time on the Accra-Kumasi route. Something that should have been 6 hours, we are spending up to 10 hours because of bottlenecks at Usino, bottlenecks at Nkoko, bottlenecks at Konongo, and also sections of the road are also extremely bad. So that increases the maintenance cost and then increases diesel consumption. And then 16 years ago, Accra-Kumasi was 15 cedis. And 16 years later, 150 cedis. I believe taking depreciation into consideration, tear and wear into consideration, it is even somewhat cheaper. A reduction of prices does not come in at this stage. I said to you that in March 2025, we're going to increase prices at the intersection of the transport minister. Honorably, we suspended those prices. So what is in Ghana that was 10 cedis 2 years ago, that you believe would remain 10 cedis 2 years later?
All right, so that is the VIP operators that my colleague Stephen Mensah spoke to. He's still in the studio with me. Stephen, you also engaged some commuters. What are their concerns?
Well, many of these commuters we spoke to, they say that they can't afford the flights. from Accra to, let's say, Kumasi. So they have to rely on VIP. And they can also take these short or small buses because of the speed, and they are concerned about the safety. Hence, they'll have to rely on the VIP. So for many of them, they are asking government to come in and act to ensure that these prices come down, or else they'll be forced to pick it, and it's a strain on their pockets. And listen to some of them.
In this country, the economy is too high. The economy is too high, and you are still increasing the price. The same salary, no increments about the salary, but the fare is increasing. So what do you expect us to do? If he can do something about it.
If they say that they won't work again, where will they get transports? We can't afford the flight. So what the government should, come in a way, because from Accra to Kumasi, 120 cedis, and they want to increase it. So are they increasing it to 150 or 200 cedis? Imagine. It's kind of stress in a way. So, and for the safety reason, you can't take the renters and other staff, Siki. It's very risky in a way. So they should manage, and the government should come in and help us in a way.
I think it's really, really bad, and it's going to affect a lot of us, especially with those who do the traveling most at times. So I think government should do something concerning about that. I'm a student, I'm doing my MPhil, so normally I travel to do research and stuff. So I think it should be reduced a little, or it should be like this than them increasing it.
Let's get on to Zoom right now and speak to the Deputy PRO of the GPRT, Samuel Amwa there. Samuel, welcome to the program. What key factors are driving the push for a possible upward adjustment in fares at this time?
Okay, so thank you very much for having me. Let me say good afternoon to you and your viewers. Yes, before we talk of adjustment of transport fares, we consider number one has to do with the petroleum product. Then we also consider spare parts. Then we come to lubricants before taxes. The taxes, we consider the DVLA taxes, insurance taxes, and then assembly taxes. In February, insurance third-party premiums were, increased. Sprinter buses that we used to pay, the 23-passenger buses that we used to pay 933 cedis now is, being increased to 1,194 cedis. Likewise, the 15-seater buses also has been increased from 837 to 995. All the other, vehicles has been increased. Let's come to DVLA charges. DVLA charges, just 1st April, it has been also increased. Then we also talk about the spare parts. We used to say that the spare parts too is still the same. There has never been any reduction. Then the almighty petroleum product. Formerly, we understand that it went down to a certain point, but as I'm speaking to you, diesel is now being sold for about 17 cedis plus, then the petrol to about 13 cedis plus. That is why, we gave the government, 2 days to see if they can do something about it by checking to see that if they can, suspend some of the taxes that we are paying on the petroleum product. Then after giving the government the 2 days, the transport minister called on us and then, said that he has heard of what we are saying, but because of the Easter festive, he is going to meet us today. By the close of today, we'll meet him. Then whatever be the outcome, we'll know what to do. So we were pushing to see if nothing is being done, then it means that we also, pushing to get some percentage increment for, our drivers. But as I'm speaking to you, just about some few minutes ago, we had a call from the minister that President is calling for an emergency cabinet meeting to, see to our issue by, see if they can be able to suspend some of the taxes that we are talking about, so that we also hold on the transport fare increment that we are talking about. So as I'm speaking to you, the leadership of GPRT is waiting for the outcome of the president's emergency cabinet meeting before we also take decision.
The VIP buses have increased prices up to 25%. What percentage of increment are you proposing to the minister today when you finally meet with the ministry?
Okay, we don't want to come out now. The reason being that, you see, it's not all the vehicles that belong to unions. These floating drivers, we've had some experiences where sometimes we propose a percentage, and at the close of the day, when we go for a negotiation, we'll not get that same percentage. Mm-hmm. And you see, those drivers that don't belong to any of the unions, they will, based on the percentage, the proposal percentage, then they will begin to charge unapproved fares and all that. So because of that, we've decided to keep this to ourselves. Whatever percentage that we want to propose to the transport ministry, when we get there, we will negotiate there at the close of the day. We agree on whatever percentage that we want to come out with. So as to how much to come out, we are reserving it for now. Let me come back to the issue of the VIP. We are very surprised that the VIP has come out with this increment. You see, the fuel that we are using, they are also using the same fuel. They are also buying the same spare parts that we are buying. You see, everybody knows that the moment fare increment comes, it affects everything in the country. That is why we are holding on. So since the minister says that, they are working on things to make sure that, like, maybe fuel prices will come down, and we, the GPRTU and the other commercial operators are holding on. Why can't they also, hold on for the meantime to see the outcome of whatever they are doing? Then if it calls for an increment, then we'll come up to increase. So sometimes when it happens like that, it affects, our businesses so much, because we have our drivers that also fly Kumasi, and they also fly Kumasi. So if it comes that they are increasing and our drivers don't increase, then it means that it's not sounding well in our ears.
So do you think VIP should reverse their decision to increase the fares?
Perfect, because it has happened before. We remember during the previous administration, when the former transport minister, Honorable Akufo-Addo, VIP did same, and they called them and they reverse it. So I think that is the same way the government has to do, by calling them to reverse it for the meantime, so that if nothing is being done on a petroleum product and we all come up with an increment, they will do so.
And what outcome do you expect from your engagement with the transport minister later today? And really, what time is it?
Come again, please.
What outcome do you expect from your engagement with the transport minister later today? And what specific time is that going to happen?
Yes, I said earlier that we were supposed to meet him. Just some few minutes ago, we had a call from the minister saying that President has just called for an emergency cabinet meeting, and they are going to sit on our issue. So we are waiting to see that the outcome will be like, maybe President has now agreed that they are going to suspend some of the taxes so that the fuel price will come down. In fact, we as commercial transport operators, we don't want to increase the transport fares. So if government can be able to work on something to make sure that fuel price will come down, we will not even push in to increase our transport fares.
That means you have put the impending increment on hold until after your meeting with the transport minister.
That is correct. That is 100% correct.
Samuel Amwa, thank you very much. He's the Deputy PRO of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. Let's also speak with the General Secretary of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, Emmanuel Ohene Yebua. Welcome to the program. From your perspective, are these fare increases justified under the current economic conditions? Hello, Emmanuel. Unfortunately, we've lost Emmanuel just in the nick of time. We'll get back to him later. But in the meantime, though, the minority in Parliament are raising concerns over what they describe as an attempt to introduce LGBTQ concepts into Ghana's constitution through the ongoing constitutional review process. Speaking at the MPP headquarters on behalf of the minority, Asin South MP and sponsor of the anti-LGBTQ bill, John Intimfojo, cited recommendations on pages 107 and 108 of the Constitutional Review Committee's report arguing that proposals could create room for LGBTQ recognition if adopted. He says such a move will entrench the issue in Ghana's constitutional framework and alter the country's moral and cultural foundations.
They even further lied to the public in their press statement that they had further recalled those books. Go to all the schools, ask the teachers who teach these subjects. The books still remain on their shelves. None of these books has been recalled. They further look Ghanaians in the eye and lie to them. President Mahama promised to use the curriculum to protect our children from LGBTQ influence. Instead, his government used the curriculum to covertly lay the groundwork to indoctrinate them and to set his agenda. When you check page 107 and page 108 of the recommendations of the Constitutional Review Committee, you would find another covert introduction attempt to introduce LGBT into the bedrock of our Constitution, should the Constitutional Review process pass. Conclusion and demands. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the National Democratic Congress has shown its true colors. The real shift we are witnessing is beyond ideology. It is purely deception. They exploited the genuine moral concerns of Ghanaians as a stepping stone to power. They weaponized it to deceive the public, only to turn around in power to abandon the pursuit, and have now deprioritized those concerns at the altar of political convenience and international appeasement. Realign his priorities in line with the real priorities of the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians, specifically the 93% of Ghanaians who, according to the CDD Ghana Afrobarometer survey, consider the practices of LGBTQ and related activities highly repugnant to the societal values and religious beliefs, and crave a potent legislation to urgently address the canker. 93% of Ghanaians consider LGBT canker and its clampdown a major priority. President Mahama, realign your priorities in line with that of the people you serve. Ghana's basic needs have not changed since 2024. And ladies and gentlemen of the press, you will agree with us on that. The president is therefore expected to fulfill his promise to introduce his government-sponsored bill, which he promised the clergy and the religious leaders to comprehensively address the LGBTQ issues. He made those promises willingly. He must be held to account and be made to fulfill his promise. Second, an apology to the clergy, to the imams, Muslim clerics, and traditional leaders. The NDC and President John Dramani Mahama must apologize to the Christian Council, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, GPCC, and all other ecumenical bodies, the office of the Chief Imam, and our imams, our Muslim clerics, traditional rulers, and concerned CSOs for the double standards and contradictory priorities demonstrated between the period in opposition and now in power. Additionally, we call on the clergy, our Muslim clerics, communal bodies, traditional rulers, the civil society organizations to call out the NDC and President John Dramani Mahama on their U-turn on LGBT issues to maintain their spirited advocacy for the passage of the pending bill, and for President Mahama to sign same into law as soon as it is passed by the 9th Parliament. Now, action from Parliament. We urge the Majority Leader, Honorable Mahama Yarga, and the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, to ensure the swift passage of the reintroduced bill without further delay tactics orchestrated by the deletion of the advertised bill from the order paper, only to be relisted after 7 months of pressure. When we put pressure on them, they relisted it. But even for it to be relisted for first reading, a referral, which was made to the Committee on Constitutional and Legal, and to date, not even a single meeting has been called to consider it, has not been attended to. Clearly, somebody was receiving instruction from the Jubilee House and showing them and equipping them on which priorities they should attend to. Very, very sad. Ghanaians expect the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill to be passed urgently by Parliament at the earliest resumption of Parliament. And to those of our colleagues who still are part of this bill and who promised Ghanaians that when President Mahama is voted into power, if he drags his feet on the legislation, they will mount pressure. They will put pressure. We are waiting to hear that pressure, to see that pressure, and to experience that pressure.
Well, thankfully, the Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition MPP, Haruna Mohammed, is joining me right now for a conversation. Welcome to the program. How do pages 107 and 108 of the Constitutional Review Committee's report lead to a potential LGBTQ recognition as espoused by John Ntimfo-Addo? Haruna, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm straining to hear you. If the volume can be adjusted, I couldn't hear. I couldn't even listen to
Is it better?
Reverend Ntimfo-Addo as you were playing the tape.
I'm asking you, John Ntimfo-Addo made allegations that pages 107 and 108 of the Constitutional Review Committee's report seems to push the agenda of LGBTQ. And I'm asking, how is that possible?
Thank you very much. I would like to say good afternoon to your cherished viewers and the entire membership of the New Patriotic Party, and also to Reverend Ntimfo-Addo, who has stood by his own conviction, who has has been very consistent with his own understanding of the law and the human sexual rights and family values in terms of his consistency in government and also in opposition. Those particular provisions in the Constitutional Review Committee has been consistent with the government stand now, because government deliberate efforts to downplay their own promises and pledges to the good people of Ghana has found its way into the Constitutional Review, where we have not been able to put together a law or a straightforward law that is going to fight represent the views of the people, as research for CDD of about 93% of the respondents by the people of Ghana in terms of their support for this particular nomenclature for the LGBTQ must be aside, and very strong values respected, because the Islamic religion frowns on it, the Christian religion frowns on it, and the traditional religion frowns on it. So it is basically clear that even the review committee should have been very much aware and think that these particular provisions should have been made possible to protect the traditional values of our society and to enshrine it, and so that we will not even be needing a bill to be presented to Parliament, but the Constitution should have been very straightforward. And that is why that particular loophole or gap has been found by Reverend Ntimfo-Addo, where this is not being catered for in the new or the review constitutional processes.
You say that is a position that is held by the President John Mahama administration. How different is this position you claim is being held by President John Mahama from the position that was held by former President Nana Akufo-Addo's administration?
President Nana Akufo-Addo did not hold a contrary position from what the NDC or John Mahama was holding. He was of the view that Ghana has its values. The Ghanaian people and also his Christian values does not allow the practice of LGBTQ. President Akufo was very emphatic on that. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud was very emphatic on that. There was no any pronouncement by the former president and the former vice president to support this particular practice. And this is very clear. You know that your research department can put the videos of the former president and the former vice president. It was very clear. What was the issue was the signing of the bill, which amounted to a legal tussle, where this particular, the signature or the processing of the bill to the president was challenged by a constitutional provision where the president, who has been a human rights fighter, who has demonstrated himself of abiding by the rules of the game or the law, and he thinks that this particular process should expire so that he will have access to the bill and assent to that particular bill. So because of the processes that the bill has not gotten to him and the dishonesty and double standard of the NDC because of power, they have to go on the rooftop to propagate this particular message, to align with the good people of Ghana and lie to them, dishonestly present the matters to them. So I don't think that the stance now that he's taking, Akufo-Addo has ever taken such a stand before. Now he's telling us that because of age, because of even honorary doctorate degree, he has been denied because of this particular basis. So the president has been very dishonest to us. It's double standard to us. Ministers in government today who have said that the president will not know peace if he doesn't sign it. And the president made us to believe that when he comes, the Akufo-Addo's bill that he has not been able to sign, he is going to sign it. When he was remembered that the processes leading to it getting to Akufo-Addo had not yet gotten to him, he played propaganda with it. And today he is there as the president of the Republic of Ghana. The speaker is still the same speaker, and they have an overwhelming majority that they don't need to even have a draft. They said that they wanted it to be a government bill. It's supposed to be the government of the day's bill. They have not presented any bill. A private member bill too has come again. They are thwarting the effort of this particular bill in the House of Parliament. So these are the things that we are pointing to the good people of Ghana. And he's telling us that the priorities have changed and that there is basic needs such as education, hospitals, and all those things. And Ghana did not come from Jupiter. We didn't just come because those issues were there. Didn't he see that? And he was making those particular promises that he was making. Just last week, in some international conference on LGBTQ happened here, and national security provided them security. They were provided with security.
Where did it happen?
It happened in Ghana.
Where exactly?
I'll get it again.
Your what?
But it happened in Ghana.
What did you say?
I sat on your station and I mentioned it. It was not only happening in Ghana.
But you can't make claims without substantiating with evidence. So if you can help us, where exactly did it happen and who provided the said security that you are talking about?
It happened in Ghana. I had the details of this particular conference on conferences in Africa, and it happened in Ghana, a 2-day conference, and they were giving space for it to happen.
Haruna, if you have the details, it shouldn't be so hard to help us understand the details that you have, should it?
Yeah, I will give you the venue. I will give you the venue of that. I'm just making a cross check, but it happened. I was on your show. I went on Google. I looked at international conferences in Africa, and that particular conference happened in Ghana. Not only in Ghana, it happened in other places. And Ghana was one of the countries that particular conference happened.
Right. Haruna, I'll come back to you. Stay with me. Don't go yet. We have Felix Kwachi Ofosu, who is governance spokesperson. Minister, grateful for your time this afternoon. There's been a number of accusations being leveled against this current government by the minority in Parliament. Chief among them is the LGBTQ, which they say your government has betrayed Ghanaians, the clergy, traditional rulers, and so on. What's your response to that?
The minority should be dismissed as usual. Everybody knows that the MPP wholeheartedly supports LGBTQ activities. It is a reason why, after private members of parliament had worked hard to put together a bill, and it was sent to the president to sign, then President Akufo-Addo to sign, he flatly refused. So the party that formed a government that flatly refused to sign a bill that was going to ensure that LGBTQ activities do not get a stronghold in Ghana cannot turn around and purport to be concerned. They have never been concerned. They fully support LGBT activities in Ghana, and they refused flatly to sign the appropriate legislation.
But Felix, it wasn't a flat-out refusal. There were some legal challenges.
There were no legal challenges.
There were legal challenges.
Knows what happens when a bill is passed. There was no legal challenge.
There were legal challenges.
It is just the case that they were not willing to sign it. We all know it. So please do not hold me for them.
But the cases were sent to the Supreme Court.
We all know that they instigated those cases. It was deliberate, it was intentional, It was part of the process to ensure that it was never signed. That is what that is about.
Okay.
If they were willing to sign it, it would have been signed. So a party that behaves this way cannot turn around and purport to be lectured and sermonized on the same subject. President Rama has been clear that the very day that any LGBTQ law is brought to his desk, he will sign it into law. As we speak, that has not happened. Because the MPP and President Akufo-Addo refused to sign that bill, the bill elapsed, it ceased to exist. And Ghanaian law says that it has to go back to Parliament. So the same process that was used to pass it is used. And that is what is happening. The MPP in Parliament know that the bill is now at committee level and is being worked on. So exactly what are they purporting to comment on? Has anybody brought any bill to President Mahama who has refused to sign it like they did when they were in power? No. So sometimes we tend to entertain the minority in their effort to waste our time. What they are doing is nothing more than political, posturing. That's all that it is. They are only posturing politically. They don't mean well. They do not support the bill, and their actions show it. That is what that there is to say.
Right. Felix, just like you say that it was a deliberate attempt by the Akufo-Addo administration not to pass the bill, you are also being accused, this government, by one of the co-sponsors of the bill, John Ntimfodjo, that the government is also deliberately dragging its feet through its MPs in Parliament to make sure that this is not passed.
Government never controls the executive.
Yes.
And you know that. The government does not control Parliament. And you know that.
I do. That's why I said through its members of Parliament.
How is that so? What has happened in Parliament that suggests any feedback? He, Ntimfodjo, was a member of Parliament. He's also a reverend minister. When President Akufo-Addo refused to sign that bill, what was his position? Did he protest against it? Did he hold a press conference to condemn President Akufo-Addo? He should show us a press conference where he condemned President Akufo-Addo in the same language he is using today. Otherwise, he should be dismissed. We all know that it's an exercise in hypocrisy. It's an exercise in political grandstanding and a waste of the time of Ghanaians. If the bill comes to President Mahama, he will sign it. And he has said it multiple times. So they are only wasting our time over nothing, pretending that they are concerned about a bill that they were never concerned about. They were in power for 8 years. It never struck them that as a government, they needed to do something about LGBTQ. It was private members of Parliament who put together a bill. And when it mattered most, they chickened out. So on what basis are they now purporting to speak on behalf of the people of Ghana? The same people who they let down by refusing to sign the bill. We don't think that that is the way to go. Once that bill is passed, I'm a member of Parliament. So I know that the executive cannot tell Parliament what timelines to use. It doesn't happen. Our constitution bars that from happening.
Okay.
So once it is at committee level, Parliament will work on it. There are many, many bills that are pending in Parliament that I speak to you. Nobody can accuse Parliament of deliberately wasting time because I have to go through the process. But I'm saying that all of this would have been avoided if Haruna and his party were committed to getting that bill passed. And if President Akufo-Addo had signed that bill, if they had not instigated elements to go and purport to file a case to frustrate the process. And the speed with which they caused that bill to be brought back to Parliament and even added threatening language, telling Parliament never to bring that bill again. Is that the posture of a party and government that was willing to sign this bill? They were not. But we in the NDC are committed to doing so. President Mahama has said it time and again. If it lands on his desk today, he will sign it today. That is where we are.
Right. Well, there are several accusations, as I mentioned earlier. One of them is from the minority saying that President John Mahama recently did mention that LGBTQ activities are not major issues on the table. They are more bread and butter issues that are supposed to be dealt with. They say that is hypocrisy on the part of the NDC, which campaigned against the MPP of failing to sign this. And now you're in government saying that this is not a major issue on the table.
Another waste of time. You know, the MPP, they specialize in wasting the time of everybody. Carlos, when you woke up this morning, is the first thing that mattered to you LGBT? Was it not about how you are going to live your life today, how you are going to find food to eat, how you will come to work, how to earn a salary, and how to make sure that ends meet? When you come to Ghana today and you list the issues that affect people, is that bill the number one priority of every Ghanaian? It is not. It has not. That it is not something that will addressed when the time comes. That is what the president said. The president spoke with pointers. And Carlos, you have the tape of the president when he went to Philadelphia. Indeed, that is the place where he made that statement. In his interactions with the CSOs, he only referenced that statement he had made, that the West and other partners continue to have pressure for this to be done. And he says that as a country, the things that matter the most are the issues that affect the well-being of the Ghanaian. And how does a president saying this mean that LGBTQ is not important? Which president swears an oath to become president, and the thing that matters to him the most is LGBT? Is it not about the welfare of ordinary people? How to make sure that education is properly financed? How to make sure that health is properly financed? How to deliver good roads? How to ensure that security is top-notch? How to ensure that electricity, water, job creation for the teeny youth who are unemployed? How can anybody see that these matters are not important? And that if a president says these are his priorities, then he has betrayed anybody? It simply does not make sense.
Well, they're also calling on you to apologize to the clergymen and women.
So, Carlos, you are telling me that all the people who are watching you today, the thing that matters to them the most is LGBTQ and not their welfare. Is that what the NDP is pushing? So the president should go and apologize for making the welfare of Ghanaians his priority. Is that what they are calling for? Where is the logic in this? Why did the NDP waste our time in the manner that they do?
Right.
The president should apologize for saying that making sure that the youth of Ghana have jobs is a priority. He should apologize for saying that. Is that what the NDP is calling for? And they hold a whole press conference and put it out. Indeed, if it was a priority for them, why did they not sign it when they were in power? When did it become a priority for the MPP? Only when they left power.
Right. Final one before I let you go, Minister. John Ntimfo-Addo also mentioned recommendations on pages 107 and 108 of the Constitutional Review Committee report, which he says is a covert attempt to entrench LGBTQ provisions in the Constitutional Review. Is that something that government has anything to say about?
So the Constitutional Review process will come to Parliament. It will be debated. And it is at that stage that recommendations will either be accepted or rejected. We have not gone there yet. So in his haste to double in pedestrian propaganda, he brings this up as a major issue. It is not.
Right. Felix Kwachiofosu, thank you very much. He's the Minister of State in charge of government communications and also government spokesperson there. I still have Haruna Mohammed, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition MPP. Haruna, you've been listening to the Minister rubbish the claims made by John Ntimfo-Addo earlier today. What's your response to that?
I think they are very good at it, but he has forgotten that he has admitted that they wasted the time of the people of Ghana because LGBTQ matters were not matters to be the top of the table for discussing. So talking about it is a waste of time. That's what he said, that they wasted the time of the people of Ghana by talking about LGBTQ every day. So if they knew very well that that matter was not a sensitive and a critical matter to be discussed, why were they discussing it? Were they not these particular critical matters in terms of school, just as I've asked? Why did they leave those matters and they were discussing the issue of LGBTQ? So it's a clear admission that the NDC wasted the Ghanaian people's time. Again, Carlos, he refers a matter that he says that the government said that if the bill is not being passed, they will look at it and it is at the committee level. Let me put this on record. He's a member of parliament. This matter that he's talking about, the deletion of the advertised bill from the order paper, aware of it. It took them 7 months for that particular bill to be later be referred for first reading. And this has been referred to the committee, and this has not been attended to up to today. And this bill is not a government bill. It's a private member's bill. And he's talking as if they have referred the matter. He's talking as if the ownership of this bill belongs to government. It is entirely false. Reverend Ntimfo-Addo has been very consistent in himself when we were in government, and he followed it. He played his role. Who among the majority today, who among them in government today is doing what Reverend Ntimfo-Addo is doing? Let's hold it that the MPP previous government could not sign the bill. What was their position? Their position was that if they come into power, they will sign the bill. they will make sure that that particular LGBTQ matter will be settled. What have they done? They have been given the power. What have they done? What is the stance of the president today?
But
the president
Haruna,
has been asked on matter of LGBTQ, which was being discussed. For you to state the importance of this matter, what you could tell the international community was that it is not a critical matter now. And he even made a reference to the honorary degree. Why was refused that particular degree? And he spoke about getting aid in sort of uplift the human spirit of our people, the people of Ghana.
Right.
So this is honesty. This is double standard. This is hypocrisy. This is something that does not sit with a good Christian.
Right.
The president, for God's sake, is an assembly of God member, and he is not living up to the expectations. The clergy has been deceived. The Muslim community has been deceived. The media has been deceived. The Ghanaian society has been deceived, and they have gone ahead to even teach our children in school. For the first 1 week of the term that they began, they taught them that a male and a female is not the only discussion that is on the table. Somebody can decide to either be both or be one of that, which is not part of our values.
Okay, Haruna.
The book has not been withdrawn. These people are dishonest, and everybody must call them.
Haruna Mohammed, thank you very much. This is Kenneth, by the way, not Carlos. Thank you. Haruna Mohammed is the Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition MPP. And earlier, we heard from Felix Kwachiofosu, who is the Minister in charge of Government Communications. Let's now take you to the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, where the Minister is addressing a press conference on the Daman mines.
When it comes to methodology and work plan, we scored EMP 9 out of 10, Hillgrove 6.2 out of 10. On the qualification, EMP had 9.6, Hillgrove had 9.2. You will see that it was a close mark in the sense that these are all entities in the mining sector, so they all have the same, or have similar qualified professionals. So that's why the score is a bit close. Now, when you go to facilities, clearly, EMP led in terms of the mark 9.8 as against Hillgrove's 5.8. Now, on plant and health, safety, environment, EMP got 9.2, Hillgrove got 6.2. Now, local content, you will see that interestingly here, Hillgrove had 0.2 or 0.4 out of to be able to lead Hillgrove, to be able to lead EMP, which has 9.2. The reason is very clear. Right now, Hillgrove is a mining company. They are mining, so they are required part of local content or the obligation to have very local content strategies in place, which they are doing. Of course, the new person coming to take over Daman will now begin to do that when they take over, and because they become properly a mining company and be required to basically do provide those local content issues. But on the whole, the marks show that EMP clearly demonstrated or got the biggest score when it came to the technical proposals stage. Now, financial provisions. Before you can move to the next, which is the financial proposals, you must have scored a minimum of 80%. But based on the scoring, Hillgrove could not get the minimum 80%. So on that score, based on the notice, you cannot be taken to the next stage of financial proposal. We left EMP as only contender for that. And the requirement was that you must show evidence that you have access to funding in excess of 500 million USD. EMP demonstrated that by documentation that showed that at least Stanbic and ABSA have committed to funding the operations to the tune of 505 million USD. So when you combine the financial proposal and the technical proposal, the score that EMP got is 93 points. Almost 93 points. What am I saying? 2.15. So that's a high score when you combine both the financial and then the technical proposal.
After weighting them down.
Yeah, after weighting them down, that's how the score that they got. Yeah. So based on the requirements, the guidelines published, EMP met all the requirements, they satisfied the monetary requirements, they met, able to demonstrate that they had the technical and financial capability to be able to run the operation of the mine when it is given to them. On this score, the committee recommended that they be awarded the mining lease. That's in short what the committee did. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. This is the
outcome. We shall now defer to the chairperson of the committee to hand over the report.
Yeah, thank you very much. Based on Regulation 2621C of LI 2176, which says that preparation of a report on the outcome of the tender process should be submitted to the Commission. It has been submitted to the acting CEO of the Minerals Commission. Now, we are at the stage of Regulation 263 of LI 2176, where there will be a transmission of the report to the Minister. On receipt of the report of the tender committee, the Commission shall recommend to the Minister to grant the mineral rights to the successful tenderer. At this stage, I am transitioning from chairman of the tender committee to the representative of the CEO of the Minerals Commission with the full powers he has vested in me. I am handing over the report based on Regulation 263 of LI 2176 to the ministry. So that is where we are now. Please, all the mineral, if we have other mineral commission, Deputy CEO, you can join me, and then we hand over this to the ministry.
Shortly after the handing over, we shall now take your questions.
So I'm giving it to the Chief Director of the ministry. Thank you.
Well, let me stand on the existing protocols and say good afternoon to you all. This afternoon, we have all witnessed the submitting of the report to the ministry. So on behalf of the minister, I've received the report and I will intend be submitting it to him for any analysis to be done, and then decisions can be taken after we have studied the report. But I want to thank the committee very well for their work and for submitting the report to us. On that note, I want to thank all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We shall now entertain questions from
our friends in the media. If there are any inquiries, Yatiti, I can see your hand is up. Okay.
This confidential, but it is now in the domain of the minister.
Can you give her? No, you can't hold up. No.
I'm trying to channel. I say, yeah, committee Nancy where you might.
Those are live visuals from the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry there concerning the Daman mine bid process. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Don't go anywhere.
Now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown cranes, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults? This price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
You guys are ready for what's about to happen? Only on Joy Prime Television.
All right.
Listen. Okay. Yeah. Hey, my name is MC Kofi Darlington. Out here, my sister, the guy is quick. Giving the rappers the platform to show their flow. They go blow. Beats and bars to the hardest thing. You get back, spit up the baddest thing. This with the mic, make me see the fire. No darling, cause we know the tire.
Stage necessity. Mike and I are ready. What's a rap? So now you rap. Beats and bars. You get bars, shall yo. This is not just rap.
This is not just lyrics. This is war on the mic. Yes, you're welcome to Beats and Bars, the ultimate community rap show, live on Joy Prime Television. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we bring rappers from your community to show us what they've got.
Two communities, two fearless MCs. I'm the guy, Queen Sister Stand the Beat. Hey, guy, I'm doing this with my brother.
Yeah, you know when the queen is on, the king is on. My name is MC Kofi Darlington, the only MC with a sauce to spice it all up. And ladies and gentlemen, Beats and Bars, we say, you get bars, spit them. All right.
Rounds, freestyle, rep your community and brag. You know what I'm saying?
You heard that. You have just 3 rounds to prove yourself as a rapper. Showing on the 28th of March and every other Saturday live on Joy Prime Television. Make sure you sit down 8 p.m. Join us with some cool drink and enjoy the party, man. Your pong is smelling good. Bars.
You got bars.
Spin town.
Hello again. Tensions are rising at Ghana's ports as a coalition of trade associations and freight forwarders prepare for a major sit-down strike this week over the government's new revenue technology known as the Publican AI Trade Solution System. The group says the system is unpredictable and is disrupting operations, leaving goods stranded at the ports as importers struggle to clear them. A meeting with the Ghana Revenue Authority last week ended without agreement. The coalition is thus calling for the immediate suspension of the system until their concerns are addressed, arguing that the system does not ensure fairness or efficient operations. They have also petitioned the Ministry of Finance to intervene. Here are excerpts of that particular petition. We'll definitely bring you that petition later. But in the meantime, the coalition is threatening a shutdown at the ports in the coming days if the government does not heed their demands. And joining me this afternoon are the GUTA president, Clement Boatin. Also on Zoom is the chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Reverend John Awuni. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Clement, I want to begin with you. This issue came up last week. You had a long meeting with the ministry, we're told. What was the outcome of that particular meeting? Hello, Clement. Unmute your microphones respectfully so we can hear you. Kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you. The Food and Beverages Board and the Ghana Union of Traders Association boards are joining me on Zoom right now for a conversation on this. I want to begin with GUTA. Clement, do I have connection to you?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I was asking about the outcome of your meeting with the Finance Ministry last week.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Yes, like you rightly said, we had a meeting with the Finance Minister, the Deputy Finance Minister, as well as top officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority in connection with the deployment of the AI. Yeah, at the end of the meeting, what I can say is that nothing conclusive came out as a result of the meeting that we had. In the meeting, we put our grievances, which had to do with the problems and the challenges that we are having as far as the deployment of the AI is concerned at the port. We give a number of reasons that we think the AI is not giving us the right value of duties that we are supposed to pay, because it has quadrupled, in some cases, more than quadrupled the duties that we are supposed to pay. And so we think the deployment of the AI is not in the best interest of the business community. And so we were calling for the suspension of the whole deployment so that we could go into a roundtable discussion, address all the challenges that we think is bedeviled with the system, so that we can there see to a new deployment of the system. But the authorities also, think otherwise. So what I can say from the meeting that we had last Thursday was that the meeting was inconclusive and nothing, came out at the end of the meeting.
Interesting. I'll come back to you. Let me bring in Reverend Awuni. You said goods are stuck at the ports as we speak because of this system. Can you explain to us how this is affecting you?
Thank you so much. And let me begin by saying that the business community are very open to any system that will facilitate easy processes and bring down the cost of doing business and the time of doing business as well. And as technology evolves, we are open to new technologies and then all other stuff that will help us operate efficiently and even as much as possible bring down the cost of goods and prices down in the marketplace. So the AI publican system that has been introduced or has been introduced by the government is something that we were a little hesitant, but we said, well, it's a new system, so we don't need to oppose it. Let us see how it will operate. And as a matter of fact, the system has been running, and from day one, we have had serious complaints by owners of businesses, importers, manufacturers, and people who route their goods through the Tema port. As instead of the system to facilitate easy clearing, instead of the system to facilitate easy processes at the port, it rather appears to be very disruptive. It rather appears to increase cost of clearing. It rather appears to increase cost and create a whole lot of unpredictability in the process of importation. It also creates some bit of fear and uncertainty in the minds of businesses. I have from day one had complaints and upon complaints from various importers and manufacturers about the disruptive nature of the new system. And I have said to my people that let us just give it a chance and let us wait, because every system will find some bit of challenges and then find a level. So instead of us opposing it, at the end of the day, this thing may turn out to be something good. But the news never ceases to change. It has appeared to be exacerbating from since then. As I speak, I had some goods that came into the country on the 15th of March. It is only this morning that I have received the goods. Only this morning. And then I kept on having information from the Chinese people that your system is very, very, very slow. Your processes are very, very slow. And I want to use this medium to speak to the government and to just advise that it appeared that our meeting with the Deputy Minister of Finance, he kind of downplayed the seriousness of the issue. And people woke up to talk and just say that when they talk 10 minutes or 10 seconds, 20 seconds, say, sit down. It is not so. Once, if you say businesses or association leaders, these are not illiterates. As a matter of fact, I am not, with all humility, I think I can equally also run that finance ministry. I can run any ministry in this country, and I can do it efficiently. But once we do choose not to go into politics, when we gather together and we want to speak, it is important they pay some bit of respect. We are partners in development, and at the end of the day, leaders, what my brother Boat and myself, is not fighting the government, not fighting the system. We are giving a feedback, and for a feedback to the installers of the system, to the proponents of the system, as to what can be better for us as a country, but what can be better for us as an economy, what can be better for us as the private sector. As we said, the private sector is the engine of growth. If the engine of growth and you begin to put impediments on that engine cannot run smoothly. And the AI system that they have introduced appear to be one impediment in that engine of growth. And we are saying that let the government, as a matter of fact, respond positively as quick as possible to this particular system. If goods arrive on the 15th and only today I am receiving it, somebody's goods have been locked up, sugar, and the goods are locked up not just for free, just locked up sake. They are paying damages. I had opportunity to speak through somebody to the publican office, and they said the whole appeals upon appeals I piled up there. Till today, after now, people are sending their BOEs, and they are asking, can it be worked on? And the people over there at the public office, it appears that they have been overwhelmed by appeals. And also, let me say, we say that when you say you make an appeal, they request that you should show a swift transfer. For instance, you come in with a particular product, and the particular product shows a certain price on the FOB, and they tell you that the price you have presented is not a good price. It's not a good price. The AI has given a different price. Whatever AI gives information up based on whatever you input into it. The AI doesn't have intelligence on its own. It's based on whatever input you put into that AI. So if you put certain information in there and the AI comes up with certain FOB, and the FOB is about 3 times the price of the product, and they said that the only way you can successfully appeal to the valuation that the AI has given is to show.
Reverend Awuni, you said that you recently cleared some goods at the ports. I want to find out, was it?
I'm saying that just today.
Just today, yes. Was it 3 times the amount you are used to, or it was the same amount? How much did you clear? Don't give us the raw figures, but
no.
In percentage terms, were there an increase?
There's an increase. And because
by how many percent?
You can have some 100%, some 200%, some, in fact, there is somebody whose goods cost like 20,000 euros. They have given a fellow 35,000 euros. So it's 15,000 euro difference.
And you blame that on the system.
These are genuine, and people get frustrated as to how they can even make appeals. And the appeal that they make, there's no response.
Right.
And you can know that every second at the port costs money.
Right.
Every minute at the port costs money. This whatever is happening at the port now does not give good testimony of our port to international community. And let me say that there are many traders that are holding on from importing because they want to see the next step that the government will take concerning this AI thing.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Let me bring in Clement at this point. Clement, you did indicate that your meeting with the finance ministry ended inconclusively. Really, what was discussed in that meeting that you couldn't reach a consensus?
No, the discussion that we had is what I have initially enumerated, and even my friend Reverend Awuni has also, made some point out of it. Our main issue had to do with the tripling and then the quadrupling of the values that the AI publican is churning out. In some situations, those that are even coming from India, that India customs has a direct relationship with Ghana customs. And so anything that you buy in India, the values or your invoice will be sent directly by the India customs to the Ghana customs here. You see, over the years, not this government alone, but previous governments have always been accusing, traders of under-invoicing. They never talk of over-invoicing, but they always have been talking about under-invoicing. And so in a situation where the Indian customs has a direct relationship with Ghana customs, and whatever you buy there, the invoices and your values are being sent directly to the Ghana customs, the artificial intelligence is also disputing that and then uplifting the values. So our main concern had to do with the upliftment of the values. And like my brother rightly said, people cannot pay. And as a result of that, their goods are at the ports incurring demurrages. To what extent can we continue to bear this?
Right. So what then do you do now? What are you going to do now that you say that government paid no attention to your demands? What are you going to do?
That is why immediately after our meeting, we have sent a petition. We have sent a petition to the finance ministry appealing to the government to let us come again into a roundtable discussion and then see how best this situation can be addressed. That is the only thing we can do for now, because they are the policy makers. They have brought out this policy. And when you bring out a policy, you are supposed to engage your stakeholders even before the policy is even implemented.
I have a copy of that particular petition dated April 2nd, 2026. And that is almost a week now. You say the government is yet to respond to that. So what do you do now that government is clearly not responding to you? What are you going to do?
No, we are waiting.
Waiting for what?
No, we are waiting for government response. It's only,
when?
I think, Thursday. It's only Thursday that we send this petition, and we all know that we went on holidays. We have just resumed. So let's give the government some time. We hope definitely that they are going to respond, because we don't want a situation. We don't want a situation that somebody will say that we did not give government the chance to respond to our grievances.
Already we are hearing that some of your colleagues at the Aflao border are already laying down their tools due to this issue. Can you confirm that to us?
Well, I'll not be in a position to confirm that. I have to do some checkup, before I'll be able to confirm. As far as I'm concerned, I'll not be in a position to confirm that right now.
Okay. Right, don't go yet. Reverend Awuni is still with us. Reverend Awuni, you've been listening to the Guta boss say that they are still waiting on government. Is that a position you agree with?
Well, I think that that document was sent to them immediately after the meeting the next day, and then we ran into the holidays. So I think that today happened to be the working day that the minister may have if opportunity to have a look at it. The point is that we are not on a headlong collusion with the government. We are not against a system that can facilitate trade. But we are saying that the current nature of that system is disruptive. And what is very important and very critical is for them to suspend that thing, even if it is a week or two. Make sure that the backlog passes, they clear everything. Then they can modify, because I went to the meeting there a little late and I heard them talking about modification of the system. They can now begin. Initially, you could not appeal, but now you can appeal, and so they will do something. But that it has not still worked out, because there are people who are calling me since morning, have not had peace of mind. They are talking about appeals, and the things are not working. So we are hoping that this whole thing can be suspended for some time. Let them look at it genuinely. The concerns, the leaders, we are talking. We are just giving feedback of the bigger economy, what is happening to the businesses. Because if you give somebody 3 times the FOB, how is the fellow going to, you will kill the capital of the person. And if the fellow also even comes in, prices could just escalate. Prices could go very, very, very high in the market. I have strongly appealed to many of my members that I said, just be patient. At the end of the day, we are in a technology advancement system. So this thing may turn out to be something good. So let's give it the benefit of the doubt. But having said that, it appears that it's just not working. And people are getting very frustrated. There is one person I know, he's paying like $1,000 every day demurrage, $1,000 every day, $1,000 every day. So at the end of the day, if the fellows keeps on paying, this thing has been hanging for about 1 month. This is very, 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 very serious. We know exactly what we are about, and we will applaud and support any technology and any system that will advance trade, facilitate trade, smoothing trade. So I am appealing to the honorable, my very good friend, Honorable Akufo-Addo. The petition is there. We don't want to disrupt trade at the ports. We don't want to disrupt trade anywhere. Let them just, for instance, look at the petition and let us be on the same page. Suspend that thing for now. Suspend it for now. So that those who have their goods locked up, they can clear the goods. And then we can relook at it and fix all the abnormalities. And then if we now want to go ahead, we can go ahead. Until then, if they are bent on ignoring the feedback that we are giving to a system they have installed, it will lead to very disruptive trades. It will lead to very serious things that will go out of hand that they may not be able to handle it. Remember, every day, every hour costs money. Right. And also will bring in revenue to the government.
Right.
And we don't want to go anyway that way. We have no opposed from the initial, we have given way, but the system is almost something that is very, very destroying people's businesses at this point in time.
I want to bring in.
Let them suspend it.
I want to bring in.
Suspend it.
Right, Reverend Awuni, I'll come back to you, but I want to bring in Michael Ochirbefi, who is the ranking member on Trade and Industry in Parliament. Michael, thank you very much for your time this evening. These are the concerns enumerated by the traders about a new AI system called Publican AI system, which they say is charging them double, triple, or even sometimes 10 times the initial amounts they used to pay at the ports, and that they are considering a number of options, including going on a strike. They say that they had a meeting with the Trade Ministry, the Finance Ministry last week. It resulted to nothing. They've petitioned government for another roundtable discussion, which government is yet to respond to. I want to pick your thoughts on that. Has it come to your notice in Parliament, this issue?
Yes, I think, I don't know whether I'm even the champion of it. As a matter of fact, I even filed an RTI last week to TRA on this particular issue. I think it's a serious, it's a very serious issue. The truth of the matter is that, see, the government didn't do well in the area of stakeholder engagement. Government didn't engage or the stakeholders very well. So there were no very good consensus building, and which has created a lot of problems for them. What is more, the company that the government appointed as a contractor is an inexperienced company that doesn't have any knowledge in IT or artificial intelligence, which is also very serious. So these are the key things that I believe government must listen as a matter of very agency. They must listen to us and do exactly what we want them to do. They have to suspend this Publican AI system immediately. Note that the company called True There, that is implementing the policy on behalf of government or government appointed, they appointed them through a sole source arrangement. That's the first point. 2, the company was incorporated in Cyprus on the 28th of December 2024. It's on record that the company, since its incorporation, has never undertaken any project or done any business anywhere in the world. The first business they are doing is this particular business, which makes them, very inexperienced. It is purely an asset management and dinner trading company. They don't have any knowledge in artificial intelligence. They have not done anything similar to that. And the kind of figures or numbers they are churning are fictitious figures. It has not happened in the history of Ghana before, or where you go to the port and we are doing calculation of your import duty or import taxes to pay, and they're using calculation based on the median. Where in the world does it happen? Where does it happen in the world? It doesn't happen anywhere. Note that Ghana is a member of the WTO. WTO has given us standards that we have to use in evaluating or doing valuation to get numbers to be charged as import duties. It is done or applicable everywhere in the world. And so Ghana cannot be an exception. And also, another point that is so serious is that we have legitimized the WTO arrangement through an act of parliament. So now, the Customs Act, Section 67 and 68, clearly spelled out how we should go about calculating import duties. So then what about this business that we are talking about? Now, we are now deviating from the norm without parliamentary approval or amendments to the law. So it is absolutely fictitious, dubious, and a calculated attempt by government just to create pain. I mean, to these taxpayers who have been consistently paying their taxes to the good people of to the country. We should not create problems for them like that.
So is that to say that this did not pass through a parliament for a possible approval?
It came to parliament at the approval. You know, they put it together. It was like an omnibus arrangement.
Right.
One particular different arrangement. So they took the approval once. But what is very important is that because this arrangement that is coming, I mean, it deviates or it's not consistent with the law, the current law, the Customs Act 891, 2015. This is not consistent with the law. So it means that it's against the law. That's the meaning. So these are things that I want you to, let's place it in good perspective. Why is it that for the first time you are bringing a policy and all the stakeholders involved are not happy with the policy, even including the GRA staff?
Right. Michael, do you support the demand by the traders for it to be suspended?
Immediately. That's what I have said. It should be suspended immediately now.
And if that demand is not heeded to by government, what impact is this going to have on our ports?
I am not going to relax or relent of my effort at all. I've told them. You see, because I have told you that it's against the law. It's clearly against the law. So then I have told them that we can take a legal action against the state. I mean, because it is not consistent with the law. So which means that we have a case to stand on. And again, note that Ghana is a member of the WTO. And WTO has given us what we use to do valuation and to calculate import taxes. It is done everywhere in the world. Every country that is a signatory to the WTO agreement is part of it. So you can't decide to do anything different.
So
that's what we have to look at.
So is that to say that the minority
you're not even interested, Mr. Host? Hello, sir.
Is that to say that the minority is threatening a legal action if nothing is done about this?
This is Michael Ochibe, if you're talking as the ranking member.
You're talking in your own capacity.
Committee. So I am talking to you, my capacity as the ranking member.
Perfect.
Albeit I have the support of my minority leader on this particular action. But what you have also not talked about, and you don't see it as serious, is the fact that the company involved, the purported Cyprus company that was incorporated in Cyprus, is an Israeli company that does changes. I mean, disguise itself as a Cyprus company to create problems for the country. We should not allow this to happen. I am confident, looking at the documents I have and things that I have, I am confident and I can tell you on authority that the Minister for Finance and the Commissioner General of GRE, they have serious questions to answer in the area of corruption as far as this deal is concerned. I'm telling you.
Right. Michael, I'll be happy if you furnish my producer with this particular document you speak about after this particular conversation. So you say that this company was incorporated in Cyprus on the 24th of December, 2024, correct?
28th of December, 2024.
28th of December 2024, as I mentioned.
And they have not undertaken any project. It is an asset management.
So this is their first major project.
Yes, since incorporation.
And per the document you have,
so everybody will be worried. How can we give this business to? And what is also another serious point that we also not talk about is the appeal system. This is the first time that we don't have you cannot appeal when you have issues. On this, you cannot appeal at the GRA office at the port. No, it's not possible. So the appeals desks are situated at the Ministry of Finance at Kanda. So you have to, when you have an issue at the port and you want to appeal, you have to drive from Tema and come to Kanda to appeal. What kind of arrangement is this? What kind of arrangement is this? That's how come there's a lot of people going through issues, and there will be a lot of people's goods going to demurrage. And ultimately, those people will lose the items. So what have you done for them? And instead of government trying to tell us something good, they came out with a fake publication last week on the front page of the graphic that arrangement has raked in a lot of money. That's not raking too much. It's not true.
Right. Michael, I want you to hold on for me. Let me bring in Guta and the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. They're still on the line with me. Clement, so what impact is this going to have if nothing is done about it at the ports, really. Let us feel the impact that this is going to have on our ports and really your businesses.
Well, if government doesn't heed to our call and government still insists on this churning out of higher values for higher duty payments, then what the businessman or the business community can do is to also transfer the cost to the consuming public. And this is where I don't want us to reach, because already the Ghanaian consumer is overstretched. The purchasing power is not there. The purchasing power is not there. I'm sure you can attest to the fact that currently prices of goods and services have even gone down as a result of the stability of the currency that we have. But Ghanaians are still calling for further reduction of goods and services.
Right.
And if we are to contend with this publican AI system, then my brother, the consuming public should brace themselves up for price hikes of goods and services. If the government doesn't listen to our call and then suspend this AI for us to go into a negotiating table and rearrange the system in such a way that it will either we go back to the status quo, or even if it is redefined in such a way that there will be maybe some small upliftment, we will take it like that.
Right.
But if we have to go with the situation that is pertaining currently, and government doesn't resign its decision and suspend it and engage us and see the best way that can resolve this issue, then my brother, as I've told you, Ghanaians should bring themselves up for priceable price hikes of goods and services. And if that happens, nobody should blame the trader or the business community.
Reverend Awuni, from now till next week, if you don't hear any response from government for that roundtable discussion you are demanding, what happens?
Well, I think that in the interest of the country, in the interest of business, in the interest of the economy, I would expect that Honorable Akufo-Addo will respond to it and then work on it immediately, suspend, and that it will lead to serious disruption of trade and not watertight borders. Our borders are quite porous. So goods from, transit goods coming from Aflawo, Côte d'Ivoire, and all that does not mean that goods cannot come from Côte d'Ivoire into Ghana. Goods cannot come from Aflawo to Ghana on other routes. If the government, it is in the interest of the government to immediately pay attention to what we are saying regarding this AI thing. Let me re-emphasize in my conclusion that we are not against any tool that will facilitate trade, but we are against any tool that will disrupt trade and make the port of entry, our major port of entry, an uninteresting one. That when you are importing goods into the country, it becomes a nightmare to you. We are against that. So we are saying that let them, as a matter of fact, suspend it. Other than that, in the next couple of months, you will find goods going through Togo into Ghana here. They won't understand. They will lose massive revenue. You will find goods going through Aflawo to whatever ways, because when they change the music, the dancers also change their way of dancing.
Right.
So I am saying that as leaders, we are partners with the government in development. If this country gets well, for us. If the country gets bad, for us. So anytime we come and we are speaking on issues, we are just not on a selfish path, but we are on the path of the country. And as a matter of fact, since they introduced AI thing, I have never come out to speak against it in any way. I have always, as a matter of fact, always spoken and asked my members to hold on, to keep on, to hold on, and to keep on. We will see. But the way it is going, the frustration is getting too much. So it is disrupting trade. Let them suspend this immediately. Look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Redesign their system if they want to go ahead with it. Other than that, this country has been running and GRA has been making money over the years, exceeding their targets without AI. And AI is as good as what you give it.
Right.
AI is as good as what you give it.
Right.
And the kind of people that are here, then maybe some traders can play around. But when you have people who are with their figures, with their FOBs, having their values being given 3 times, 4 times, it's a source of worry. And the Commissioner General and the Honorable Minister of Finance must react to what we are saying now as quick as possible.
Okay.
Otherwise, there will be complete disruption of trade all over, beside the fact that there will be increase in prices, because the kind of prices that their values they are giving out in terms of valuation is just insane.
Reverend John Awuni, thank you very much. He's the chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Earlier, we heard from GUTA President Clement Boateng. I still have Michael Ochebefi on the line with me. He's the ranking member on the Trade and Industry Committee of Parliament. Michael, so in the interim, what's going to happen? Are you going to hold the Ministers of Trade and Finance before Parliament to come and answer some questions, or what are you going to do in the immediate interim?
That is one of the things that we also plan to do. I mean, as a minority, that's one of the things that we also plan to do. Because, you know, now as I'm talking to you now, Parliament is on recess, so we can't get them to answer these questions immediately. But then we expect the right thing to be done. The right thing for now, because it's the way the thing has been tumultuous. I mean, together, all these associations have really the same concern. Clearly tells us that they are not so happy, and they have not been seriously consulted in that area or engaged for them to bring out the issues, you know. So, but this ad hoc thing, or knee-jerk approach that when they talk, then the minister will call them to the ministry and sit them down and tell them, we bring your issues. That is not the way to go. The way to go is proper engagement. Make sure that you convince the person. Let the person know that what we are doing is in the interest of the state. And I don't think anybody supports anything that will bring good things to the state. Nobody will rise up against that. We have to do proper engagement. And for me, the company involved is also a problem. That company is an inexperienced business entity that has never engaged in this before. And that's where the whole thing is. It is somebody's arrangement. You know, somebody has cooked something and they want to bring it out and push it under our throat. That is why we think that there's something, or there are questions to be answered that need to be answered by the Minister for Finance and the Commissioner General of GRA.
Michael Ochebefi, thank you very much. He's the ranking member on the Trade and Industry Committee in Parliament. Earlier, we heard from the GUTA President Clement Boateng and also the chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Reverend John Awuni. Two other stories this evening. There's an easy calm at the Agyeman-Rawlings onion market following yesterday's violent clash between Ghanaian onion traders and some foreign traders over what they describe as attempts to infiltrate and dominate the onion trade in Ghana. My colleague Ado Biasare was at Agyeman-Rawlings to assess the situation and file this report.
Calm has retained here at the Agyeman-Rawlings onion market a day after a violent clash between Nigerian onion traders and Ghanaian onion traders. Now, according to the Ghanaian onion traders, the confrontation was triggered by what they believe is a growing deliberate attempt by Nigerians to infiltrate and dominate the onion business here at Agyeman-Rawlings. What they say is deeply affecting their livelihoods.
There was a misunderstanding, that excuse between the our Ghanaian counterparts and our Nigerian counterparts at the other section.
What caused that misunderstanding?
Oh, it's about our trade. That is, the Nigerians are trying to take over our market with inferior goods and lower prices, making us running out of business.
So I do know that you import from Burkina Faso, Niger, and Nigeria. Are you having troubles with these two, or are you having troubles with the other two, or it's just Nigerians for now?
It's only Nigerians that we have trouble.
So you're not having problems with Burkina Faso, Niger?
At all, not at all.
How much is this particular sack of onions going for?
A sack of onions goes between 600 to 1,000 cedis, depending on the quality of the onion.
Okay, and how much are your Nigerian counterparts selling this?
Oh, they have inferior goods that they can sell as much as 400, 500. We have a number of cars that are supposed to come per week, but we realize that the number of cars coming is far more, about 3 times the number we expecting. So we decided to take action, that is stopping the cars from offloading. By so doing, the Nigerian called their Nigerian counterparts back at Nigeria to tell them that we've stopped them from offloading their goods. They too take a decision by stopping our cars, our trucks over there from coming. As I'm speaking to you, we'll have about 70 trucks on Nigeria stopping. The goods are there for about a week.
And these are perishable goods?
These are perishable goods. It's not easy. This is people's livelihood. This is people's properties.
The police have been deployed in the area as business resumes today. They're standing at vantage points, ensuring safety and security of traders and buyers. Traders are calling on authorities to step in and enforce existing trading regulations to prevent further clashes and ensure fairness in the market. For JoyNews, I'm Adobia Asare.
Adobia, thank you. Jakiti is a community in the Agyeman district in the eastern region. It lies along the banks of the Volta Lake, widely known for its rich natural landscapes, rivers, fertile lands, and lush greenery. The Jakiti beach attracts visitors from far and near, making it one of the community's key tourism assets. Despite these offerings, residents say the last time they witnessed anything close to road construction in the area was in the 1970s. They believe the construction of the 32-kilometer Akosombo, Jakiti, Kudikope, Yeniama, Sedom Road under the Big Push initiative will open up the area to tourism and economic opportunities. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Music blares from speakers here at the Jakiti beach along the banks of the Volta Lake.
I start take pictures around to 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Just a few meters away is Martin Kokoti,
I'll get my daily bread.
A photographer who earns a living by capturing moments for revelers at the beach. He notes that although the road to the community has long been in poor condition, ongoing construction is already making a difference. He believes visitor numbers will increase significantly once the road is completed.
Oh, because of the roadway, the people know they come. Sometimes when we come, we are go by, if we get accidents because of the road, so if you want to go there, they come. But when they start there, they come.
The road Martin refers to is the 32-kilometer Akosombo Jakiti Kudukope Yeniama Sedom Road, one of the projects under the Big Push initiative. It connects Akosombo to communities such as Akwemu, Ajina, Idumasa, Jakiti, and surrounding areas within the Agyeman district of the eastern region. The Queen Mother of Jakiti, Nana Yadobiasi Kapa, says the completion of the road will unlock tourism potential, boost agriculture, and attract investment to the area.
Good. So people were a bit reluctant to come to Jakiti for most of the land for businesses. But through His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and our MP, Honorable Thomas Ampim Dakon, Nyako, who also doubles up as the Deputy Finance Minister. The road is under construction, and now you see a lot of business people coming on board for our land, for tourism, for riverfronts, resorts, and for farm as well. So it has given Jakiti so many business opportunities that people are trooping in now.
I am now at the palace of the chief of Idumasa, Nana Ansakwao IV. Every Easter, he organizes a Kukunti festival, drawing people from far and near. He says even before the road project is completed, improved accessibility is already making it easier for people to travel to Dumasa, Jekiti and nearby communities.
I think the sky will be the limit with regards to if the road is constructed. You see, if you look at all waterfront sort of inhabitants, we are the last ones left. Ada is finished, Tema is finished, Akosombo at Timpoku area is finished. So this is the last sort of riverfront land bank area left. And so once you bring the road, you're going to bring all that opportunity to this area.
Over 100 kilometers of roads linking farming communities to market centers at the Adansi-Asokwa district of the Ashanti region have been improved to ease transportation of farm produce to markets. This is aimed at reducing cost of food in the area and reducing post-harvest losses, which is eroding income of farmers. The project under the District Road Improvement Project is being funded by the District Assembly and the Office of the Member of Parliament. Nana Yaljima visited some beneficiary communities and has filed this report.
Regina Donko, a farmer at Yaldankwa, dries her palm fruit harvested a few days ago. She expects a buyer from Fumso Market later in the day. About 2 weeks ago, her plantain had to rot away because she was unable to trek with them about 6 miles to the lorry terminal.
We have to walk with our produce to the main road before our clients come for them. If you don't have the strength, they rot away. We are getting fed up.
Yaldankwa, a farming community in the Adansi-Asokwa district, is about 6 miles from the community transport terminal. For years, trucks and tricycles dread the route. The few who attempt to go there charge exorbitant fares due to the bad nature of the roads. The community, just like many others within the district, had struggled to transport sick persons to the hospital for poor roads. Under the District Road Improvement Project, roads to Yaldankwa and many farming communities have been reshaped as others are newly created. Albert Dakora is District Chief Executive.
Because of the access to good road, they have issues of bringing their produce, if not motorbike or if not tricycle, they can transport their farm produce to the main market. So we saw the need to come to their aid with the help of the drip machines to reshape their roads for them so that they can easily access the market with their farm produce. So this motivated us to come to their aid to reshape the roads for them.
Meanwhile, the local drip coordinator, Majid Governor, says efforts are underway to seek funding to extend the service to other areas. He says many communities continue to call on his office for such support.
So far, we estimated about 120 kilometers and above, so far as Adansi-Asokwa district is concerned. And as you can see, when we were coming, there is so many villages around which they have no access to better roads. So as we have started grading reshaping this side of the community to endure the benefit of other people.
For JoyNews, Nana Yaljima, Adansi-Asokwa.
Let's still stay in the Ashanti region because the popular Dr. Mensah market in the Kumasi metropolis flooded after a downpour on Easter Monday, displacing several traders. The rainfall, which lasted for less than 2 hours, left thousands of residents stranded, disrupting business activities and causing significant distress among traders and commuters. Large volumes of plastic waste clogged in drains were washed out during the downpour, exposing poor sanitation conditions in the area and raising environmental concerns. The flooding is largely attributed to choked drains, mainly filled with plastic waste, which obstructed the free flow of water.
The popular Dr. Mensah Market in the Kumasi metropolis flooded after a downpour on Easter Monday, displacing several traders. The rainfall, which lasted for less than 2 hours, left thousands of residents stranded, disrupting business activities and causing significant distress among traders and commuters. Large volume of plastic waste clogged in drains were washed out during the downpour, exposing poor sanitation conditions in the area and raising environmental concerns. The flooding is largely attributed to choked drains, mainly filled with plastic waste, which obstructed the free flow of water. The situation became critical as many Pragya tricycles were unable to pass through the flooded roads, further worsening transportation challenges. Speaking to JoyNews, a commuter expressed his frustration, stating that Kumasi should not be experiencing such flooding due to poor sanitation. Residents are calling on the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to strictly enforce sanitation laws to address indiscriminate waste disposal and prevent future occurrences. Many traders and commuters spent their Easter Monday evening stranded due to flooding caused by less than 2 hours of rainfall. Joseph Obey's report, read to you.
We have more stories after the break.
Just shocked because it had not happened before for anybody with the courage to come in with excavators with the aim of coming to mine. It was unheard of.
Yeah, press conference against a contaminant. It's in the Socase and you know na a yentro ema nemcrophone be crampo ebebetu tutu aha ema bi kan ye work abako ema ne car crampo no eja to ne car ma say
there was invasion. The whole world knew it. The reports were there. The investigation revealed it. The CID had all the report. Guess what happened? It was shelved. Why was it shelved? It was shelved because there was no political will.
We shouldn't rely on the kind of money that we will get in a day, and tomorrow we cannot guarantee that same money. Because the gold, once you extract it, the soil or the vegetation is gone.
You're welcome back. Slum dwellers at the Dagomba Line community in the Kumasi metropolis are actively rebuilding their homes after a devastating fire tore through the vicinity on Easter Monday, forcing them to spend the night in the open. The inferno razed wooden structures that served as makeshift homes, mainly for metal scrap dealers and head porters. The following report has more.
The fire is believed to have started at about 4:30 a.m. on Monday, with officials yet to establish the cause of the blaze. Over 250 wooden shacks erected along the stretch were engulfed by the fire, rendering the victims, including young women, children, and men, homeless. No casualties were recorded, as some victims suspected arson. Jabrim Nasiru is a leader in the community.
4:30. In the
early hours of yesterday, we heard people screaming that there's fire outbreak. We came out and we saw the blaze. It swept through the entire vicinity. Properties worth thousands of cedis, including personal belongings, were destroyed by the blaze. The slum is an abode for the youth who migrated from the northern part of the country in search of job opportunities down south.
It's a way that when there is fire outbreak like this, firemen will be able to enter. Everybody just put on. So because of that, the place is so congested and crowded. It's actually worrying, but we have no option. As I said earlier on, we need a proper management and then guidelines that will enable us to put on the structures to avoid all these things. Me personally, I lost about 6 rooms. And it's not easy, but we don't have anything to do except the will of Allah.
The recent fire is the third to hit the area following a double blaze witnessed within a 2-week period in January this year. Visiting the area after the earlier fire event, Kumasi Mayor Richard Agyeman-Rawlings assured of investigations to end the perennial fires.
This cannot be reoccurring on an annual basis. Every year, we have incidents of fire taking place at the Gombala. What it means is that there's something that we are not doing right. So we are going to send our NADMO officers and fire officers to come and do a comprehensive assessment of how this place is. And so the assemblyman is going to lead an effort for us to make sure that we put in place remedial measures to forestall the incidents of annual fire occurrence here at the Gombala.
However, JoyNews checks reveal the office is yet to present reports and a roadmap for reconstruction works in the enclave. When the news team visited the scene after the unfortunate incident, the residents had begun clearing debris as they attempted to rebuild their homes. For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Let's take you to the Bono East region now, where the search for water has become a daily struggle for many families. In Atebubu, residents wake up before dawn and walk long distances just to fetch water for their families. But the crisis is not only about broken boreholes. Scientists say changing weather patterns and poor groundwater systems are making the situation worse. Our reporter Mahmoud Muhammad Nuruddin traveled to the town and brings us this report for today's Climate Evidence.
In many parts of Atibobo, the search for water has become part of daily life. At community water points, long queues of buckets and jerrycans wait patiently for their turn. For Fati Abdullahi, a 40-year-old resident, getting water for a household is never easy.
The place where we go to fetch water is far. It takes 30 minutes to go and come back. And by the time we return, our children are already late for school.
She often walks long distances to fetch water for her family. The work is physically demanding, but she says she has no choice.
When you go to fetch water even once, you experience body and leg pains. You cannot go 3 or 4 times. But if you are unable to go 3 or 4 times, it will not be enough. Our biggest challenge in Atebubu is water.
Although many households in Atibobo have wells and boreholes, residents say many of them stop producing water during the dry season. For Ama Bayo, the water crisis has become one of the biggest challenges in the town.
They have drilled many boreholes in this town, but we still lack water, especially during the dry season.
In some neighborhoods, residents say water can disappear completely for days.
Many people usually gather at the borehole, but the water does not flow. We come with jerry cans, drums, and other containers. Sometimes it can take up to 5 days before the water starts flowing bit by bit.
Whenever water begins to flow, residents rush quickly to fetch as much as possible, but the supply often stops again within minutes.
We don't get water all the time. We have to fetch it, allow it to yield, and then we go back to fetch water again.
The water crisis is also affecting schools. At Best Brain College, head teacher Jonathan Forson says many students arrive late because they spend the morning searching for water.
In a class of about 30 students, sometimes because of the water problem, you can see that about 15, 20 students have been reporting. And at times too, they come to school very late because when you ask them, they've been telling you they've been searching for water before they come.
Others arrive tired after carrying heavy containers over long distances.
And at times too, they look very serious in class when they are teaching. So this water problem is affecting academics seriously as we are speaking now.
14-year-old student Musa Ramatu says the situation makes learning difficult.
Water situation in this table is very poor, so we don't come to school early. This one too, it leads us to know we don't come to school early, and it retards our education. Sometimes when we come to the class, we feel stressful, we can't learn. But when we carry the gallons, we feel stressful. When we come to the class, we can't learn well, and it leads to retard our education and learning.
With boreholes and wells running dry, many families are turning to a nearby dam for water. Every day, children and mothers gather at the edge of the dam with yellow jerry cans and plastic gallons, while some, especially the women, carry basins to fetch water. But the water they depend on is often unsafe for drinking and daily use. 29-year-old mother of 5, Faustina Dakura, says waste from nearby dam sites sometimes flows into the dam during heavy rains.
Because a few women in
the water is not good for us, but we have no choice. When it rains, flood water carries dirt, use diapers, sanitary pads, and other waste into it. But because there is a water shortage, we still drink it.
Health officials say waterborne diseases such as typhoid and diarrhea are now among the most common illnesses reported in the municipality. Experts say the crisis is linked to the changing weather patterns. According to the Ghana Meteorological Agency State of the Climate Report 2023, Atibobo and surrounding areas recorded rainfall deficits of between 21 and 31%. Pointing to increasing climate variability in Ghana's middle belt. Hydrogeophysicist Mohammed Abdul Mumin explains that many boreholes in the area are too shallow.
So, in the situation of Atibubu, they have largely of clay being at the top, occupying the most part of the top formation. And another issue with that is that a situation where a borehole does not go far beyond the clay, it tends to dry out in the dry season. That's when the rains subside. That's what usually causes most of boreholes in those areas to dry up. And many of borehole agents and contractors do not understand the situation over there. And because of that, they drill shallow wells. And so when you drill a shallow well and the rains happen happen to go down at a particular part of the year, definitely the water is going to dry up.
The Atibobo Amantin Municipal Assembly says it has begun implementing new solutions. Municipal Chief Executive Masoud Musa Ayaba Thomas says hydrologists have now been engaged to guide where boreholes should be drilled. He says 17 new boreholes have already been drilled based on expert advice.
We identify the places that we are sure that we get water. We have also increased the depth of it to make sure that we will get enough water over there. We are drilling and mechanizing 17 normal boreholes in the municipality, across the municipality. I am certain that we are not going to the old stories, that we are not getting water, because of my engagement with the experts in the drilling of the boreholes. Authorities are also planning a larger project to treat dam water and distribute it across the municipality. Yes, thank you very much. There should be a treatment plant over there to make sure that we purify the water before we pump it to the community to use. We cannot just go tap that water and then bring it to the people to drink. No, there should be a treatment plant that is there to make sure that we get clean water for the people to drink. Yes, as we cry and we say we want water, it is not any water at all that we want them to get. We have to get quality, we have to get clean water for the people to drink.
For families in Atibobo, the hope is that these new solutions will finally end years of water crisis. Until then, residents continue to search daily for one of life's most basic needs. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
This story is brought to you by JoyNews in partnership with CDKN Ghana, University of Ghana Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies, with funding from Claire R4I Opportunities Fund.
As preventable illnesses such as hypertension and malaria continue to pose a major public health challenge in Ghana, residents of La have benefited from a free community health screening exercise organized during the Easter period, led by Revival Outreach Church as part of its corporate social responsibility. The outreach sought to improve access to basic health checks while promoting early detection and prevention of common diseases. The following report has more.
Health professionals and volunteers offered free screening for hypertension, HIV, hepatitis B, malaria, and other common conditions during the exercise. The initiative formed part of efforts to improve health awareness and encourage early diagnosis, particularly in communities where routine medical checkups are often delayed or inaccessible. Speaking at the event, head pastor of the church, Professor Oko Amati, said the exercise was intended to support community well-being by responding to both health and social needs. He added that the outreach also aligns with a broader plan to establish a community clinic to serve residents of La and the wider public.
For the past 5 years, during the Easter program, we decided to be attending to the needs of the community health-wise. So we have an assembly of doctors, pharmacists, health professionals, and other health workers who come to attend to the needs of the community. They will check your vitals, the lab tests, the eye tests, and the doctors will diagnose and prescribe. And all of these, the church takes the bill. Everything is done free of charge. And that is our help to the community. That is what Jesus stood for. He healed the sick. He fed the poor. So real Christianity is not just to preach the word of God, but also to attend to the needs of the people. And that's exactly what we do. We have big vision, and with the vision we have, we should be able to put up a health facility as our contribution to the community.
Administrator of the church, Elder Peter Kwesi Akufo, highlighted the importance of regular medical screening, noting that the annual exercise provides an opportunity for participants to know their health status and seek timely care where necessary.
Yeah, so every year, Easter Saturday, we'll be here to do it for the community. It's free. Everything is free. We have some doctors, nurses, and pharmacists in the church. So they also bring their colleagues to support them to do this. So the church finances it.
Some residents who took part in the screening also shared their experiences.
It has benefited me a lot because I don't normally check my BP.
Currently, I'm at the eye sector because I'm having a little issue with that.
This program has really been helping us because every year you get the chance to check your vitals and you are able to talk to the doctor even though you don't have money.
As non-communicable diseases continue to rise in Ghana, health experts say regular screening, early detection, and timely treatment remain critical to reducing preventable deaths. Now, more cause report for JoyNews.
Away from the Greater Accra region, at the Maiden Upper West Region Zongo Festival 2026, speakers raised alarm over rising drug abuse among youth in Zongo communities, urging security agencies to act. Zongo chief, through spokesperson Abdallah Dan Hassan, warned against trafficking and use of drugs like tramadol, calling for intensified municipal and law enforcement action. Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
The maiden edition of the Zongo Festival 2026 was marked with vibrant cultural displays at the Tendama Junior High School Park. The historic gathering brought together various tribes, including Hausa, Fulani, Wangara, Zabarama, Dagomba, Mosi, Gurunsi, Kotokoli, Busanga, Yoruba, and the Sasala, with a shared vision of promoting unity, peace, cultural heritage, and development within the Zongo communities across the Upper West region. The festival commenced with grand entrances from the Zongo traditional chiefs who paid their respect to one another while displaying a rich variety of local traditional foods. The Divisional Chief of the Wala traditional area, Na Abdul Razak Abdullahi, who represented the overlord of the Wala traditional area, Na Hussein Sidi Philippo IV, underscored the deep historical bonds between the Wala and the Zongo people. He recounted how the Zongo ancestors assisted the Wala community during the First World War, prompting the government at the time to officially allocate portions of land for their settlement.
They were brought in here to assist the Wala to go for the First World War. Secondly, to make trade very smooth for the Upper West, or for that matter, for the Savannah area here. And we cannot forget about them. They've been here for so many years, and we are proud to say the Zongo community, we celebrate together with you. If you all have the same unity as you celebrate the community development within the Zongo area.
Abdallah Dan Hassan, speaking on behalf of the Zongo chiefs, issued a stern warning against the trafficking and consumption of drugs like tramadol. He commended the One Municipal Assembly for the ongoing street lightening project that has eliminated known dark spots, noting that young men and women previously exploited the darkness to sell illicit substances in the market area.
It is no secret that on daily basis you have the police and the military troops to Zongo searching for criminals. And one of the problem of our area is that it's not just the natives of Zongo who are engaged in it, but you have other people coming from afar settling in Zongo and engaging in this illicit drug. So the Sarkin Zongo is calling on the Municipal Chief Executive, who's the chairman of music, to please pay attention to this menace.
The Zabarma Queen Mother, Hajia Salamatu, made a passionate appeal to the YMCE regarding the same issue. Meguro Abdurrahman of the Hausa tribe, on his part, reinforced this anti-drug message, firmly stating that the Zongo community is a decent, integrated society that says a resounding no to drugs.
And now one of the reasons is to let the world know that we are using this celebration
to fight drugs. We are using this celebration to, as it were, let the public know that Zongo is not an indecent community. Zongo is a very decent community, development-oriented, and we urge everybody to come and then hold hands with us for us to all celebrate.
One municipal chief executive who represented the Minister for Labor, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pilipu, and the Upper West Region Minister, Lawyer Charles Zongo reaffirmed the government's commitment to community development. The ceremony was interlaced with powerful cultural performances, including a moving spoken word piece by young Abubakar Hamdiya Winnie, who proudly celebrated her roots, reciting, "I am a proud Fulani, my cows are my heritage."
The Fulanis are not violent. We just want to do our thing, just like you do your thing, in the coolness of your offices. Ours is in the food. We move with the tide, where nature directs. Wherever we find peace, it's a home. Apologies if we ever hurt you. Forgive if we trampled your palms. We just want to make peace. Compensate for the last P.
The festival climax with the presentation of citations to the attending chiefs, followed by energetic traditional dancers from the various groups. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
We stay a while in the Upper West region because the Member of Parliament for Wa West, Peter Tobu, has led a major community initiative bringing together hundreds of residents for a historic Wa West Picnic 2026 at the Very DA Primary School Park. The event combines celebration with purpose, promoting peace, improving access to healthcare, and highlighting cultural heritage, while also addressing a long-standing dispute between Kandu and Lasia. Mr. Tobu described the conflict as a localized issue rather than an ethnic division, expressing confidence in traditional leaders to help restore harmony. Rafik Salam reports from Vieri.
At the heart of the MP's agenda was the ongoing peace mediation between the Lasia Tolu and the Kende communities. The duo has been engaged in communal conflict since the days of yore. Addressing the massive crowd, MP Tobu emphasized that the lingering tension is a roadblock to the district's progress.
The conflict between Kendall and Lasse, that is gradually getting to an end, is actually not a conflict between Wala and Brifos. If you come to Wala, there are a lot of Brifos who are living in Wala peacefully. If you go to Wichao in particular, there are a lot of Brifos who are living in Wichao peacefully. If you go to Daidi, if you go to Kunchile, under the Naha traditional area, there are a lot of Brifos who are living there peacefully.
The MP further explained, dispelling rumors of a wider ethnic clash.
It is not actually a problem between Brifos and Wallace. It is a problem between two communities that have coexisted peacefully for over a century. What is it that is a problem? Human beings will solve it. And we have the capacity with the traditional leaders and all the elders in Wa and its environs. I am quite convinced that in the next few months, Wa West will be back to peace.
He firmly stated his refusal to channel government resources into peacekeeping when they are desperately needed for infrastructure, declaring,
if we will take government money and invest it in peacekeeping, when are our roads going to be done? When are our hospitals going to be done?
Beyond peace building, the event prioritized the well-being of the constituents. Over 200 community members benefited from a comprehensive free health screening exercise spearheaded by the Akuma Plus Health and Wellness Foundation. Amanda Aba-Adu Akor, the programs manager for the foundation, noted that their intervention was crucial for the rural demographic.
Akuma Plus Health and Wellness Foundation is a non-governmental organization dedicated to reducing the burden on cardiovascular diseases in underserved communities here in Ghana. We are here screening for hypertension, diabetes, basic cardiovascular diseases that we already know are prevalent in our communities. And so hypertension, diabetes, and we're also checking for the body mass index, which is the BMI, and other conditions as well. Today we've already identified some high-risk patients with respect to their BPs being very high, and they are not aware.
Adding that free medications and referrals were actively provided. Wa was District Director of Health Services, Madam Cecilia Kakaraba, who led a team of 17 nurses to support the initiative, lauded the MP's vision.
It is not just picnic, it's a picnic with health care. Taking good care of your people, ensuring the health of the constituents will ensure his success in Parliament. So we appreciate his work. He supports us in many ways. This is just the tip of an iceberg.
The push for unity was further cemented on the football pitch, where a fiercely competitive match between GAR and Vieri ended in a 2-1 victory for GAR. In a massive show of high-level support, the Upper West Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP, Francis Jiribare, graced the occasion and personally awarded the winning team. Both teams walk away with a set of jerseys, a football, and a handsome cash prize of 2,000 cedis. District Chief Executive for Wa West, Richard Wulu, who presented the awards to the very team, described the MP's initiative as a monumental first for the area.
This is the first time in the history of Wa West that we are organizing such a program called for unity to claim for the needed development that we've all been yearning for. Without unity, you will not be able to do anything.
The historic day climax in a vibrant explosion of traditional culture, showcasing performances from the Bieri Bogoro group, the Wala with their Jans dance, the Madayiri group's Bewa dance, and a powerful anti-drug beautiful performance by the Bully Dance group. In a final unifying moment that electrified the crowd, both MP Peter Lenchine Tubu and DC Richard Wulu through protocol to the wind, jumping into the arena to dance alongside the Bapalba Women's Group, sealing a day that Wa West will remember for years to come. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Vieri.
After years of bitter misunderstandings over who occupies the presidency of the Nkranza Traditional Council, all feuding factions united this weekend to witness the coordination or coronation of Nana Kwame Bafo IV as the new Manhene, who immediately used his first address to chart a new path for the area, declaring community farming as the centerpiece of his reign, with plans to create jobs, build processing factories, and turn Nkranza into a leading agri hub. Anasabit has more.
It was a spectacle of color, culture, and joy. Thousands gathered at the Nkranza Town Park as the drums of unity finally beat louder than the echoes of dispute. Traditional leaders from far and near, alongside key political figures, witnessed the coronation of Nana Kwame Bafo IV as the new Manhene of Nkranza. The ceremony didn't just install a chief, it ended years of factional wrangling over the presidency of the Traditional Council. In a remarkable show of consensus, all sides agreed to rally behind the new Manhene. Nana Kwame Bafo IV reiterated his vision of turning Nkranza into a farming hub through community farming. What is more important to us, the people of Nkranza, is about jobs. A lot of our youth are unemployed and we are fortunate to have fertile lands. So I have instructed Nananom to engage into what I call community farming. We want to change our old way of farming. We want to have factories here that will focus on processing our raw materials into finished products, and that will bring jobs to the people here. But the Manhene's vision does not stop on the farm. He appealed directly to the government for better rules to unlock development and announced the launch of an educational trust fund to provide scholarships for brilliant but needy students, a bold step to lift human capital in the area. We've always been speaking about our town roads, and so we want the Honorable Regional Minister to forward this to the President to do something about it. We also want to use this platform to launch the Nkranza Development Fund. The fund will be used to do other important things the government is unable to do for the people here. Deputy Local Government Minister Rita Na Odole Sowa noted that chieftaincy remained vital to Ghana's development, adding that government is committed to a strong partnership with traditional authorities for sustainable development.
Nananom, ladies and gentlemen, as Deputy Minister, I wish to reaffirm government's commitment to strengthening collaboration between traditional authorities and local government institutions. Government will continue to support initiatives that deepen these partnerships.
Borno East Regional Minister Francis Osuantwi on his part called on the Nkranza Mahene to use his leadership to liaise with other chiefs to help resolve the numerous chieftaincy disputes across the region. Nana, I am appealing to you to collaborate with other chiefs within the region to help solve the many chieftaincy issues we have in the area. The day also saw the installation of a new Queen Mother, Nana Yasa Poma III, adding to the strength of the traditional leadership. As the drums faded and the dancing continued late into the evening, one message was clear: Nkranza has turned the page. So after years of misunderstanding, the people of Nkranza now have a Mahene with a farmer's vision, a scholar's heart, and a plea for roads. Whether peace will hold and development will follow, that is the next chapter. For now, the drums of unity are finally playing in Nkranza. Anna Sabit, JoyNews.
That's it for the pulse this evening. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. There you have it. Our top story this hour says MPP criticism of anti-LGBTQ bill. Nothing more than political posturing. That is according to government spokesperson Felix Kwachi Ofosu, who made that pronouncement on the polls a while ago. Thank you very much for being a part of the show this evening. The news team returns at 7 p.m. with News Prime. My name is Kenneth Gyasi. Have a good evening.
When the sun sets, almost every activity in the small farming community of Bedabo must grind to a halt. Total darkness consumes the entire village located on the